recording of a brand new episode, so welcome aboard. Please do let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from around the world, and if you are tuning in live, give me a hashtag live, and also let me know what are your thoughts around the new Airbnb search changes. So many hosts in the hospitality community and the ones that I see on the forums are fuming with a few things, but I've got some good news to share with you on how you can manipulate the search to appear in these new categories that they are banging on about. So let me know what your thoughts are below in the comments, wherever you're tuning in from, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, or wherever. If you're watching back on the replay, leave me a hashtag replay. Still leave me your thoughts. And also as well, drop in your Airbnb listing so we can all go and have a look at how the new system looks for you. So before we begin, let's start with that little rap.
This is a freestyle. I'm going off the dome. Ready for my close-up. Good looking. Let me tell you, get more bookings. Oh, that'd be nice. Giving me tips, tools, and advice. Yeah, you're gonna get them, hon. You're gonna sit back, listen to Mark Simpson. Whoa, having a blast. Gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you better put direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what comes.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, Zoe. Hello, Christina, who's in with us live. And the many other people that are tuning in from all of the platforms. We're topping in. It's going to be a pretty popular topic because we're nearly touching 100 people in total over all the platforms. So let's get into it. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Let me know where you are in the world. Let me know your Airbnb listing. Drop it in and let's have a little look at some of the little searches. So first and foremost, the search has changed. They did say it was going to be a brand new one. As you can see here on the screen, I'll just bring it up now. So this is what the map looks like now. First and foremost, I just want to say this. I want to just bring this up on screen. How much are Airbnb trying to copy Boostly right now? This is a Boostly website, listings, map. This is the Airbnb website, map, listings. It's literally on the other side. I mean, Joe and Brian, if you wanted to copy me, all you had to do was ask, and that's by the by. So there's some pretty big changes that are coming. They have stripped it back massively. Like when you now land on the Airbnb website, you don't see any guff. It's just straight into it. And one of the big things that everybody has noticed is that there are categories, and these categories take up pretty much the main discussion points. So if I just bring up on the screen here, Airbnb categories designed to help guests discover one-of-a-kind homes. Our hosts offer millions of unique homes around the world. Airbnb categories organizes them into created collections with over 50 categories of homes chosen for their style, location, or nearby activities. And then they go into what they are. So categories is a big part of search now, and I'm definitely going to touch base on that. But before we crack into everything, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to a member of the Boostly community. As I like to do now on our Boostly podcast, we like to give a little bit of a tip of the hat to share their wins and just to sort of give a shout out to some amazing humans that are part of the Boostly community. The Boostly community, for those who don't know, we've got over 10,000 years of experience in there. We've got some of the best of the best. If you want to be part of the Boostly community, just go to boostlyacademy.com. But before we do, let's give a little shout out to Ger. Mr. Ger Jones, he was been off Facebook for a while, out of the group, happens to the best of us, but he is back. He's back into the group, and just want to say we had said that he's back, which is amazing, and so much love that's shared in the group. So welcome back. He is a stalwart of the community, of the group. He provides so much motivation to hosts, even when they're the lowest ebb, and I just wanted to give him a little shout out. So please give him some love in the comments if you are part of the Boostly community. It's great to have you back, buddy. Okay, so let's go on to it. First and foremost, the first thing that you will notice right now, the biggest change, which is interesting for me because this is something that we've been talking about for a while, how to manipulate that search, how to draw the attention when somebody is running a search on Airbnb. You will notice that the description is no more. Now, what does that mean for hosts who are trying to grab attention on the Airbnb search to try and then draw them away from Airbnb to their direct booking sites? Well, first and foremost, you can't have those fancy titles anymore. You can't have emojis in the titles of your Airbnb listing. Rest in peace emojis. That has always been a controversial talking point. You can talk about emojis all day long, but now it doesn't mean anything. So what do you get now? Well, when you're on the search, as you can see here on the screen, if you are watching in and tuning in with me, on my left, which is just here, you have got this. So you've got category, and then you've got groups of 2. Now, obviously, if you're looking on the app, it's going to be slightly different. I'm doing this on a computer. But as you can see over here, the way that it works now is they show you, number 1, the home, as in what your property is. And then it also shows them the price, and it shows them the picture and the review and this little tag here. So it's very different. And the number 1 thing that you have to make sure now is that you have to make sure that unique selling picture is spot on. So that first picture, USP, unique selling photo, is your main picture, the one that draws the attention. You no longer can rely on some fancy copy or an emoji to grab the attention. You've now got to rely on that first picture. Also as well, the tag. Now, there's nothing you can do about the tag. Airbnb associate that tag to you, but those that have got a tag, again, it draws the attention. So the main thing is that number 1. So what I've done on here is I've highlighted those little tags, the main picture and the category. So it's the category that we're talking about, and the category that's going to definitely get a lot of attention. Now, first and foremost, you may be wondering, well, how can I get placed in a category? Well, it depends on 2 main things. And Airbnb have said this in the past, and they're obviously going to be drumming it more home. And obviously this is brand new. This is less than 48 hours old. For the remainder of this month, and maybe even for the remainder of this quarter of this year, of Q2 of 2022, it's going to take time for it to figure itself out. But there's definitely something that you can be doing now in the short term to be impacting this. And number 1, the feature that they talk about is key features of your space that are depicted or basically depicted with high quality photographs. So high quality photography. So if you haven't yet got high quality photos on your Airbnb listing, then it's time for you to maybe book in a photo shoot, maybe time for you to get some new pictures done. But also as well, the key thing of that is not just high quality photos, key features. So what are key features? It's your unique selling point. So if you were, for example, a glamping hut or a glamping property, or you were doing glamping, for example, the pictures that you would put and the pictures that you would list on your Airbnb property, Airbnb listing, those first 10 would be of that, okay? So you would take high quality pictures, focusing and highlighting the fact that you are glamping, okay? Now, not only that, what you need to do is you have to take full advantage of the captions. So whenever you add a picture to Airbnb, you got the ability to add a caption. Now, there's no guaranteed win rate with this or success rate with this or proof of this. But if you utilize the captions and if you were to utilize keywords, and again, if you just got to think about what those keywords would be, you basically use that option and that ability to use keywords and tell the user what they are looking at. And again, always think when you're typing this out, you're writing it for the Airbnb algorithm, because this is what they're talking about. They say that with the categories and how to take advantage of it, high quality photos, focusing on your key features, using the photo captions to describe what the guest is looking at clearly. So with the glamping, if you've got the exterior shot with the patio and the hot tub and the view, you would utilize that to talk about the hot tub, the fantastic views, the glamping, okay? So don't just half-ass it. Don't just put, this is a picture of our tent. You would go in and you would give it a bit of context to it. Explain to the guests what they are looking at. Now, we always say that a picture tells 1,000 words, but now you're going to actually have to take advantage of those captions in those Airbnb pictures. So there's 50, like I say, over 50 categories to choose from. They've got them here, from amazing views, Arctic, beach, bed and breakfast, camping, chef's kitchen, countryside, creative spaces, design, golfing. There's many, many more in there. I mean, if we were just to go have a quick look at that search that I brought up a second ago when I was looking at York, shared homes, barns, national parks, tiny homes, design and farms. There's so many to potentially choose from. Now, this could be the difference from you being in an overpopulated category than featuring on a category that is very rare, but one that's going to stand out. And the example I wanted to give to you, again, I went on this morning to have a little look, a little browse around, and I clicked on the camping one. And bearing in mind, this is on the Airbnb full search. I haven't filtered it down to anything. This is anywhere, any week. And the number one choice for camping was this rusty old caravan with amazing views. So again, this is a prime time to take advantage of it right now, more than any before, if you want to get your listing in front of others. And yes, Jody, you've just put in the live chat, so describe your photo. That is a very simplistic version of what I'm trying to say here, is describe your pictures. Now, another thing that you can be doing is you've got to take advantage of the back end, the extranet of Airbnb, your dashboard, your home, behind the scenes, your hosting dashboard. I went on today just to see if there's anything had changed. And the first thing that they hit with me is this: do you have a dedicated workspace? Okay. Now, obviously, if anybody's been paying attention to Brian Chesky's Twitter, you will have noticed that he is now traveling the world, staying just in Airbnbs. He is working and living. And this is a trend that is going more and more and more and more. And so Airbnb now are going to be making sure that your listing is fully up to date with the latest amenities and features. So if you're going to take pictures and you're going to add new pictures to your listing, if you're going to change your pictures up and you're going to then describe them in the captions, please, please, please make sure that you combine that by making sure that the amenities you tick for each of your listings match it. Because this is what the AI technology, this is what the machine learning will be looking for. So again, if you haven't done so already, go and have a look. And if you haven't got a dedicated workspace, now Airbnb aren't just adding this because their founder is now traveling around the world. This is based on what is happening with their data. They've got access to tons of data. They can see so much more than what we can. And this is definitely a trend. Now, not only dedicated workspaces, but also as well, your Wi-Fi. If you've updated the app to the latest version, you will notice in the changes is that filtering for Wi-Fi speed is going to become a thing sooner rather than later. Those of you that have been tuning into the Boostly podcast since last September, you know that this is something that we've been talking about, that this is coming. You can now go into your listings on the app and add in your Wi-Fi speed, okay? And that's going to start to get categorized. This is all due to the fact now that so many people are traveling while working or working while traveling, workcation. And so if you can fit in a dedicated workspace, whether it be an office, whatever it may be, then make sure that not only do you mark it down, but you go and take a picture of it and set it up nicely. Now, the core message that I want to say to everybody is that, yes, we want to utilize Airbnb for what it is. It's an amazing marketing machine. And yes, we can manipulate it and we can get guests, future potential guests, to see us. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be promising something that you don't have. So I'm always a massive fan of under promise and over deliver. And I can't stress this enough, is that if you've got a city apartment and if you go and say amazing views and you try and tweak that camera and try and manipulate that shot so it looks like you've got amazing shot views of your skyline, but when the guest turns up and they look straight out, they're looking at a building, then that is going to get marked down heavily in the reviews. So the reviews is the final thing that Airbnb will look for, is that the guest is saying it offers X, but the review is showing that something completely different. So make sure that what you offer is what they get. And if you do that, then your listing, your profile, your business will become visible. And if you give the guest the best experience, and this is the most important takeaway that I want to give to everybody tuning in, whether it's live or on the replay, is that if you give your guest the best experience, then they will go away and you will get referrals and you will get repeat direct bookings for life. It will fill up your property. So you'll never have to rely or panic when Airbnb goes and moves the goalposts again. Okay, that's the most important thing. If you want to build a business, build a brand, then you're going to have to build a direct booking element into what you're doing so that you're never reliant on Airbnb. So when they do go and move the goalposts, you're out panicking going, shit, I got to try and do all of this. Instead, on a day like today, you can go and try and manipulate it to try and show in more searches and categories so someone lands on your listing. And then with the things that I talk about driving people from an OTA listing to a Google search to then finding your website, then you're just taking full advantage of it instead of relying on it. So I hope I find you all well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you've watched this live by leaving a hashtag live. We've got a lot of people tuning in right now all over the channels. And if you want to find out more about Airbnb and all the latest changes, then come on into the Facebook group. The hospitality community is the free community, and the Boostly community is those that want to take their direct booking step a little bit further, just like Ger and so many other people. And if you want to start off somewhere, go and grab a copy of this, the Book Direct Playbook. It's available on Amazon right now. It's got packed with full tips, 101 tips on how you can increase your direct bookings. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please keep the conversation going in the comments. Please let me know what your thoughts are. Please let me know what you're doing. And also as well, let me know by leaving a link to your Airbnb listing. Let me know when you've added in the photo captions, and I'll go and have a little look and give you a little bit of helping hand, and so will the full community. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll be back very soon with another podcast episode. As always, keep proactive, don't stay reactive, and let's go and get some direct bookings.
This is a freestyle. I'm going off the dome. Ready for my close-up? Good looking. Let me tell you, get more bookings. Oh, that'd be nice, giving me tips, tools and advice. Yeah, you're gonna get them, hon. You're gonna sit back, listen to Mark Simpson. Whoa, having a blast. Gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you better put direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what